Test. 1 2 1 2. How you guys doing? I apologize for the Twitter people who prefer that. We almost didn't have a stream today, so congrats. Restream, because I'm probably going to be unsubscribing after this point, trying to figure out how to get this thing working in another way. So give me a second, because that's wrong. Yep. All right, let me get rid of that. Sorry, that's my old restream stuff. But thanks for coming online. Thanks for hanging out. It's been 2 weeks. I was on vacation all last week with the family at the beach. Almost tore my entire left calf out doing some shark fishing in some cold weather. So that was fun. But we caught four really nice sharks. So really happy to have fun with the fam. But I'm back. Oilfield life's crazy. Shipped an impossible project this week. Finally got to the dock. Everything's testing out properly. It looks like we're going to be killing it for this client last minute. So that being said, we are not having the beloved Pixa interview tonight. Price is unfortunately below 100,000 and he's booked right now. So we're going to get that one soon. But dude, you guys have no idea how excited I am and the fact that we're going to be doing that interview hopefully in 2024. If not, he's going to owe it to me first thing of January. But if you're new here, don't know what on earth is going on, this is the weekly whale watch. This is Rainbow Trends, it's your dude Roner. It's not financial advice at all. In fact, this stuff is actually an art stream, so don't worry about that. For any possible time you want to figure out why on earth my stuff looks like rainbows and why on earth there are so many like killer traders that have been beating us up lately in the Discord with ridiculous P&Ls and stuff, it's because we actually trade with the whales. We chase whales, and there's about 10,000 lines of code and a whole bunch of different documentation to get you guys started. And shout out to all the new people that subscribed this month. DMs have been blowing up and love every question you guys have. But definitely check out the Wikipedia. This is the baddest thing I've got. So if you want to learn anything about how we do our dog shelter donations, you want to learn about our Kraken affiliate stuff, you want to learn about the whale streams, the basis of everything, why we trade in colors, the story of how this stuff started, and basically the tool tutorials. It's all here. This is the best stuff I've got. This is the best we've had, period. So shout out to getbooks.io. I absolutely love this stuff. And if you definitely go to tool tutorials, definitely like knock through the main indicator, because at this point, dudes, we've been doing this stuff since like 2017, and frankly these tools are way past anything we ever dreamed of, and have gotten quite complicated, especially with some of the more advanced bigger traders trading very large bags. Surreal to hear some of the bags they're trading, but here we are. And they do a lot of automating stuff, so there's a lot of like intricate stuff here. But it all's lined out here for reference, and by all means, if you need me to add anything on these, we can. And if you're bored and don't want to read all that, we definitely have the videos up here too. So we're YouTubing inside of YouTube right now, so that's fun. But anyway, like I said, thank you guys for coming out. We normally do this at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, but dude, I'm doing Christmas parties, I'm doing engineering group parties, all this type of stuff. And but I'm home, and we're here. Restream completely died on me, like I said, but we're here, and for a very important reason. Bitcoin did something awesome. Bitcoin hit $100,000. So if you're looking for a scented candle for the holiday season, they do sell these candles that are the flavor or the scent of them smells like I was right about Bitcoin. I highly suggest you get that for your friends and family who talk trash. Or you could preemptively get it for all the people that have been talking about how Ripple is like the next best thing. But you guys want to talk technicals? You guys want to talk like crazy stuff? Dude, this has been a niche stream for a long time. Glad with the growth we've had. But like, I very, very definitively remember these days. And I remember sounding the alarms of FTX and us having to go through this nonsense and try to trade this and chase these wells. And like, you guys cut your teeth on this. You guys taught me stuff. I try to teach you guys the best stuff I could. And we actually navigated through this, made it through. And like, congrats. You're still standing. There's a lot of people that didn't stand. and make it through all this. We've gone through hell. We've gone through one of the weirdest reaccumulation phases I've ever seen documented, and we stayed on top of it. And you guys were all over it in the Discord, studying it, cutting your teeth, doing well. A lot of people didn't make it through this, and now we're literally walking up and out of this crazy, what was it, from March to November. We went through this hell. We caught 2 creek jumps. We caught a rainbow capitulation knife catch here at $50,000, and we've literally 100% rounded up here, and that's where we are now. So congrats, wholeheartedly congrats, because this is surreal as it gets to see it. Even now, people are crying like, "Oh, it pulled back. It's $97,000. Like this is crazy, 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 crazy." I remember 2017 thinking like, "Hey, this thing could do this, could do this. It's got the legs. We could do 100K maybe in the future and stuff like that." And that's just where we're at. So I want this kind of stream to be more of a party, more of a celebration, because we're here. The bears are wrong. You guys are sitting here. This asset's coming online, worldwide adoption. And I know you guys love different altcoins and everything else, but like the king is rolling through. The king has got his ETF flows. It's got ETF approvals. It's got the backing by the bigger governments. More and more governments are adopting it. Like all the stuff you dreamed about for the past 7 years, it's happening. And you're still here, stacking sats, trading what you can, and trying to chase whales. So shout out to you guys. Much love always. I love this fam. Been a tight Groot who's been through a bunch of hell and had to move homes a few times, but we got a really good home here now. And appreciate every one of you. So shout out, because you guys know who the OGs are. You guys know who have helped all along the way, taught me a bunch, all this stuff. And what do you want me to say? Like, we went through this like hell, and like we're at 100K. We went through all these hells. We went through FTX blowing up. We went through Binance US blowing up. We went through all this stuff. Set up, projected. Hey, halving dates here. ETFs approved. These are the dates. All this stuff. It's paid off, and we're here. So shout out, because it's awesome. And you want to talk technicals and like trading and stuff like that? We totally can. But if you haven't noticed, everything's green. Oh my God, everything is green. Almost. I keep waiting for one day where Coinbase has like everything green, and I thought we had it there for a second. So anyway, like I said, thanks for showing up. Apologize, I don't have this dual streaming on Twitter too, but if you can, I don't charge for any of this content, none of these streams and any media or any of the tutorials. So if you can, please smash the like and the subscribe, or the follow button, or subscribe, whatever it's called on YouTube. There's no paid YouTube version for this stuff. It's not paywalled. And if you're not on the Discord, that's where the real OGs are. So definitely go hang out there. But I really enjoy it. Like, this is the time where you sit back. Like, yeah, we did the work. We're here. Enjoy it. Take a break. Take a breather. Year's wrapping up. We're hitting 100K. Maybe getting some ideas of where you're going to be with taxes next year. But we're locked in. And we're just gonna have to roll with it. I don't see anything going too crazy with this, honestly, that I'm even worried about. Famous last words. Let me pull up the mayor multiple stuff real quick, just in case, because I do want to take a look at that. And like I said, I reset a modem, I reset 2 routers, I bypassed a router, I did all this stuff to get this stream back online, and finally figured out it was a plug-in to dual stream. So shout out YouTube, because you're working through all this stuff. But give me a second. Let me get the mirror. There it is. All right. I have to keep the secret stuff secret, so you guys, I have to hide the screen. I'm sorry. There's too many betas coming up. All right, so mayor multiple, turn pivots off. Yeah, so we're not yet there. Regardless, you guys have seen me talk about the mayor multiple. It's one of the GOATest things ever. People just don't know how to interpret it. That's why Rainbow Trends made it visual. Surprise, surprise, I made something visual, right? But in general, I'm not going to call that we are in the final stretches of a bull run until you touch the 2.0 standard deviation. And as we stand right now, that's $135,000. Now, with that being said, if you project, like, if we do another rage pump, that's, if we do another one of those, you could technically hit it. But to be honest, this was 9 months of reaccumulation that popped. I don't think we're going to do another leg. But you know what? I mean, what am I going to do? Am I going to get bearish at $130,000? No, I'm going to be really excited and maybe cut some off. Maybe we could start talking about that. But for the most part, we've done the runs with the Mayer multiples. They're all on YouTube. You can go find those. But like, we got to start tagging this to start talking about the top end of a pump. Even here, this was not the macro cycle top of the 13.5 run that went after the 20K run back in 2017, like the parabolic one. It still tagged this, then bounced off. So we'll see. I'm wanting to see us go and expecting us to start the run up and get going. And frankly, timing wise, like we're looking like we're like here. So it's like we're still looking that like we can go much, much higher. And that's still kind of the plan. So that's where we're at. Enjoy it. We are definitely going to be hitting up the Discord because there's been people hitting me up for the roundtable. And if you guys are new here and don't know, we stream for a bit. We wrap up the stream and then we go into the Discord and I turn all the streaming software off. And it's a more private environment that's not broadcasted, but it's where people can ask me questions. People can display their screens and teach me stuff. And if no one's chatty, doesn't have their mics on, especially Pixa, I will fire up Rocket League and just start streaming Rocket League if you guys don't want to talk stuff. But anyway, something really interesting happened though today, obviously, other than like celebrating about 100K, and somebody got hunted. And I do want to cover this real quick because this is if you guys don't know like how rainbow theory works, which majority of the population doesn't, let alone most people don't even know how Wyckoff theory works. At the basis of all this like market stuff is there are whales. There are people that are huge. They're better. They're smarter than you. They have better tools than you. They work together. They fight each other. They want to get your money out and they want to get their competitors out. And today, it's looking like a big whale got taken out off OKX. So definitely go like follow this dude's post and read it. For the most part, these dudes who specialize in these kind of order books and open interest stuff and who got killed where, they're way faster at it and better to me because this is not what I focus on. So I tend to, there's a few accounts that I read and I kind of like take their opinion of it pretty closely. The biggest one, big shout out 52K Skew. That's my boy. We've got a really cool interview from him way back in the early days of Rainbow Trends. But for the most part, it actually looks like a guy went down on OKX and had a $200 million position blown up. Why? Because he was exposed and that was food for the other whales. And what was really interesting, typically, and this was kind of weird because I was checking this like on my phone in my pocket. It was on OKX, and OKX actually went to 89.7 when that hit. And what was weird is, in general fashion, when you see bomb wicks like this, and it's in reality, this isn't that big of a pullback, but the fact that it happened so violently, like here's the 1 minute candles. And you can see the volume here where they went, well, bam, and they got him, right? You can see your little whale clusters here, bam, bam, bam. And they took the dude out. Because remember, a wick can kill a dude, right? That's a thing. So it doesn't matter if it prints for a millisecond, 2 seconds, an hour. That can still liquidate the big dudes. And they took him out, whoever it was. And a whale ate another whale. And you saw the repercussions of that because this shocked across the market. Because you have to remember, Bitcoin itself is arbitraged really, really, really highly and very, very fastly amongst all the exchanges across the world. So if you shell shock one of them, one of the majors, like if you shell shock some exchange no one's ever heard of, doesn't matter. But if you like hit like a Binance, you hit a Coinbase division, something like that. And we even saw it this week when South Korea declared martial law. The South Korean exchanges nuked, and it shell-shocked the entire market, and everything bounced back quickly. But you have to realize when these type of things like happen on the second, it's not humans, it's algorithmic trading. So test. And that's the secret to how you're going to make $1 million on Ripple this year. So moving on to the next subject. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. Connection busted. I kicked the one cable I had that's keeping this thing alive. So my apologies. But moving on, what I was going to say is if you shell shock an exchange, one of them, and all the other algorithms are constantly monitoring from these whales wallets on all these different exchanges, if you nuke one, they will hedge. And that means they will like simultaneously flash sell their positions to get out of them, to try to get out of them before anyone else. Because sometimes it's not just a flash wick. Sometimes that's the first exchange that's starting a capitulation wave. And when the capitulation starts, they want to cut their bags and get into cash so they can catch the bottom if it is, in fact, a cascading liquidation. So that's kind of like what happens. And in this event, OKX had a really, really big whale who was exposed, and he got zapped, and then the markets are kind of bouncing. And it was really interesting. And it kind of shows some very interesting things, because in general fashion, when Bitcoin is completely nuking, typically you see the alts nuke at magnitudes greater. But that's not what we saw today. So let's take a quick little measurement here on OKX. Bam, bam, 13%, which isn't a lot, but like it's 10 grand, which is kind of crazy. But regardless, I'm back to this. That should have sent Ethereum deep, real deep, say 20, 50% more. Ethereum only went down 6%. Let's work our way down the list. Litecoin went down 11%, 1-to-1 ratio with Bitcoin. Let's go down Zcash. Zcash is way more volatile. Zcash moved 8%. If you're getting the point here, in traditional fashion, if we're in a bearish, skittish environment, this stuff goes down here. 20, 30% moves. You get a 10% blip out of Bitcoin, you should get 20% blip out of Zcash. That's why I trade Zcash so much, or at least used to. Not that this is a trading thing, and this is not financial advice, but you get the point. A lot of these alts didn't even shake. They pretended like Bitcoin doesn't matter, which is very, very, very interesting because you never see that. Frankly, Solana is up. It moved down 7%, and now it's actually at a higher price. This is not normal for a lot of reasons. So what am I trying to tell you? It's kind of bullish. Alts typically should be capitulating if the bears and the bull whales are actually getting less bullish. And we saw Binance shake out. Binance hit 90,000. I mean, let me look at Doge. Let's get into meme coins. Meme coins didn't nuke. Doge, I've seen Bitcoin go down 20%, and I've seen Doge nuke 50 to 60% same day on spot. Bad stuff. That was a nuke that actually shut Binance offline, but Doge dove less down than Bitcoin. I don't know if I've ever seen this, to be honest. I'm trying to think if I've seen it before. I really don't know. I really, really don't know. So, that's typically not a bearish sign. That's a sign of strength. Because typically, if the bots and all those things of these algorithm whales get skittish, they dump everything simultaneously. So if a Binance, Bitcoin nukes and spooks all the other bots, they will dump their Litecoin, their Doge, their Ripple, all that type of stuff. So keep that in mind. And that's not theory. We've seen it. We saw Alameda do it a few years ago. So it was interesting because it was like you got to see every position was in because they dumped millions and millions of dollars of everything within 2 seconds of each other. It was just wide, bam, bam, bam. And you can't see this, but I'm using my hands to explain what happened, and it's very sad. But we're not doing face reveal tonight, so. Albeit, maybe Pixid turns on the video. I keep joking. The 100K stream involves a face reveal. We don't know. We don't know. It maybe. See her X is pumping. Guys, this is just this market's nuts. And I don't even think we're not even in alt season. Someone was like talking about that in the Discord, like, hey, I can't wait. I love alt season. And I'm like, dude, this is not alt season. Bitcoin's moving up and out. This is alts just coming along with it. But this is gonna get crazy. Like Matic did like 30% in a day. EOS pumping like mad. Look, you think I'm joking? It's 145% on EOS. Like a week, 2 weeks, whatever that is. It's weird. Ripple. Let me do like the Beatty YouTube stuff. These are the top 10 reasons why I think Ripple is going to be a 120 trillion market cap that's going to replace gold. Why it's better than Bcash, why it's better than Litecoin, and why it's even better than Bitcoin. And then pretend my mouth is gaping open and I've got like really crazy stuff all over the profile picture YouTube thumbnail. Just pretend that, smash the like, check the merch. I don't have merch, but you get the point. Weird stuff's happening. Ripple's ripping all this stuff, and dude, it's just like pick your most hated thing and it's going up season is like what's going on right now, and it's kind of awesome. Sushi's been on a tear. Shout out Jared. And by the way, one of the former sushi chefs, we're gonna have him on stream soon, so we're gonna work him in, and not Aslan. Hell, we need it. We need to have Aslan in anyway. Just thinking out loud. What else I want to cover? Things are good. Enjoy it. Maybe start stacking some cash. Maybe. I don't know if we're going to get a dip. This is the one thing, too, though. People keep talking about, like, I want to do an educated entry. I'm going to snipe it like a surgeon. I don't think you're getting this. I mean, so this is the cool thing. Not the cool thing. This is the thing. There are some times where you just have to admit it's dumb season mode and you just kind of got to be exposed and ride for the train. I'm really like, don't have free cash right now. I've just been buying little dips to throw some cash in it as it comes in and on my side right before Christmas, right? But you want to talk about like an intelligent thing, and I'm going to preemptively try to plan this type of snipe. Guys, we have not had an intelligent entry in Bitcoin since $50,000 in August. So 4 months ago, 3 months, August 20, 4 months ago. So say it's closer to 3. You kind of got some dips along the way, but dudes, like even here, once we broke through like the order block, which it took 2 times to get through, which is really cool because look at those well prints. I just like well prints. Since $70,000, it hasn't done anything. Short of today, like this here, you could have caught that, but that is not like it's a 10% pullback that happened in a single minute candle. So short of you being like a real badass sitting on 1 million limit orders, like you didn't catch that. Sorry. Maybe you did. Shout out to you. Or maybe you're like Malifestro and you can snipe stuff on this super, super low time frames. Shout out Mally. But there you are. This is stuff where I'm just willing to like buy Litecoin, not sorry, big lie right there. That's where I'm willing to just buy Bitcoin and chill with it and just whatever. Sorry, I'm gonna do my own little sailor thing, right? But I will say this: I do have a trade coming up that I'm willing to execute shortly, and it's Ethereum. And I will tell you this: I want to walk you guys through this because this trade sucked. Mentally. Now it makes a lot of sense, and now I get to like feel fun. I say feel fun, feel great about it and cloud about it. But to be truthful, caught some of this, sold it up here. I tried to mess with this a little bit, had some like I had a few break-even stop losses and like some little small things here. And eventually I was like, hey, this is going to be a textbook accumulation bottom with some rainbow theory, some Wyckoff mixed in it. And by around here is where I really started getting like that in like late October. And I went back and checked my DMs with like Malifestro, Pixa, 9K, and T and me. And you can see like at the end of October, I'm like, hey, everyone on Twitter says this is the worst thing ever. It has not pumped in God knows how long. But I was like, this looks like a freaking bottom, and I'm willing to put size into it. And my plan was, if this resistant order block breaks, I'm going to DCA into it and just let it rip. And as we speak right now, I DCA'd as this pumped. I think it was around 20, right under 2,800. We'll just call it there. As of right now, on the most hated asset, using rainbows, I'm up 40% on Ethereum on a very, very ridiculously sized bag. So, in hindsight, I should have just been long EOS and I would have gotten 140% in a week. But just to prove that, like, when this rainbow stuff hits, it's time to listen, and even if you just have to ignore the ticker. But DCA'd into a pump, and I'm up. I've been sitting on a stop loss break even, so I was willing to let it chop through. I had some nice profit here I could have taken, and it chopped, but I just let it ride because what I'm going for is this all-time high major resistance order block. With that being said, that's been my target since October. And now we're there 2 months later, which, God, 40% over 2 months sounds awful. But truth is, I can't throw serious money mentally for me into like shit coins. I don't feel bad on Ethereum. Like, just to be honest with you guys. And I'm pretty decent at reading it with rainbows. It's really, really consistent, albeit it has not been a beast like it used to be back in the day. Shout out to when it was proof of work, but regardless, we're closing in on a target. That's my thesis. You guys have been seeing it. We're up 40% now, and I am planning to cut this thing here. If we touch this order block, and I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna reassess. This is along the lines of It's along the lines of when I was with Sol. And Sol was doing all this stuff. Malifestro was just sitting there in the Discord, sniping it up to pieces. And I was like, yo, it's a really clear support and resistance. And I'm not interested in Solana until it breaks this resistance. Right now, I'm going to lock in my 40-ish, whatever. Let me see what this is going to be. It's like 45%. I'm getting out. And I'm going to chill. And by God, if Vitalik comes in and pledges to quit singing for F3.0 and we blast through this, I'll hop right back in and take my little loss on the profit I could have got for holding. With that being said, I don't think we're getting through this thing on the first try. Short of Bitcoin just saying like, F it, we're going to 125 and I'm going to drag Ethereum up with it kicking and screaming. So I'm going to get out here, get this long out, take my 40%, and then I'm just going to reassess. My gut tells me we're going to hit this thing, bounce, hit, and then maybe it goes through. I just want to get out and chill. I'm tired of... I say tired. I got into the position, guys, and then simultaneously, right around this time, around like right in November, 9K wakes up and starts seeing EMAs crossing with his GMMAs, the guppies he watches flip. He got bullish and long on Ethereum, and then Malifestro got long on it as well, and I was like, crap. So I just oversized it because I had three-way independent confluence. But anyway, did that, hit it, went up. Now I'm up 40%, albeit it took me 2 freaking months to get it to pull that off, plus watching all this, but whatever. That's how you trade the most hated asset in crypto, guys. So glad you logged in, because that's what you wanted to hear tonight, right? I mean, in reality, we should have just longed Ethereum Classic once it broke through here, because that's been 80%. That's right. Ethereum Classic's outperforming Ethereum for the second cycle in a row. But anyway, that's my one thing I am actually likely to move on this week, if not next week, depending on when it hits. So we'll see. But anyway, catching up on chat. Pepe Cinco's here. What's up, my guy from Aussie land? Poor Bowden. Dude. I saw someone posting this in the Discord. I think it was Jarman. And they were like, hey, Bowden looks bottomed. I'm like, please don't. Maybe it could, like, ironically come back. But Bowden, like, we're not going to hear from Biden anymore. Like, he's going to go off to the sunset. He's already kind of, like, not doing media stuff. He's got a few months left, and then that's it. And I think that whole family is just going to go quiet, and you're not going to hear from them again. Personally, I think they got their pardons. They're just going to chill, be done. But like, guys, this is a 99.66 drawdown. It's dead. Not to say it can't come back, but like, if I turn log off, like, I can't even fit it on the screen. This is dead. And I wouldn't put my money on it personally. So we'll see. Maybe it's a sleeper. Maybe. But like, is what it is. So I meant to show you this. So this is along the same lines for me. I was looking at Sol on the daily. Sol on this order block. That pivot right there. And then that all-time high one right there. A lot of the Rainbow Trends dudes were sniping this, and it was like 40% swings. But for me, I'm not the craziest Solana bull in the world. But for me, I was like, hey, there's clearly a support and resistance order block here, especially if you go like to the 4-hour, it's a little easier to see it. And there's a support here, there's resistance here, and it's been ranging for months. Call me when this order block breaks. And frankly, when it happened, I got into position here around 211 and just stacked it and let it started staking, because that was my decision. Now, Mally chewed the hell out of this, but he's a low time dude. This was my thing. Break through the order block, show me some strength, and I'll in. And then we can now plan for price discovery. And we did, frankly, hit all-time highs on Solana. It wick down and pull out. But it's the same thing. I think eventually you're going to hit it and get through. But we broke through the resistance, right, that I wanted to see. Now, Solana is a step ahead of Ethereum, right? This is not broken through yet. Not yet. And even then, isn't all-time high like 6,000? Yeah, all-time high is way up here. But for the most part, since like March of this year, this has been the range, as shitty as it's been. But I'm going to get out here and just reassess. It's the same thing. It's like if Solana, if it can sit here and just literally do what Solana did and go da 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 da, bam, cool. I'll hop in like here. I don't care. It's fine. Tell the tax man. So anyway, that's where we're at. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Or we could talk in the round table in a little bit. And like I said, shout out to all the new members. I get a bunch of DMs on stuff you guys don't see, and so shout out to you dudes. Popcat is kind of waking up. I'm very sad it's not going crazy. Frankly, I talked about this briefly in the Discord too. I'm going to deploy it. I've been super busy. I haven't. I'm going to put a crazy, not crazy. You guys know how I do like martingales. If you guys don't know what martingales are, you do a wall of bids and you layer the size so that they're evenly spaced depending on it. And I'm basically just going to say, hey, what's 40% from here? Roughly there. We'll do 30, whatever. So I'm going to take my very large bag of Popcat and I'm going to martingale it here. So I'm going to put not 10% notations, or this is actually, I use 11, which don't do that, but it's what I do. Or maybe it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I cut it. It's invisible. It should be right there, but it's not. Anyway, I modified it to 10. But this is actually the Fibonacci tool that I've converted to do 10%, 10 lines. So what I do is, if I want to do a martingale, I'll put, you can't just do 10%, 10%, 10%, whatever. You got to go sit there and pull out Excel and do your calculator, or you can do like a little formula and you can make like a cheat sheet and kind of automatically do it for you. But what I'll do is say, hey, at 1.8, I'm going to put 10% of the USD dollar value. So if I have like $10,000 of PopCat, hypothetically, we're really using round numbers here, I'd put $1,000 notation here, 1,000 here, 1,000. But as the higher you go up, it's going to be less PopCat, obviously, because you're selling at higher numbers. But typically, that's how I do it in a linear dollar format. You could stack it however you want. You could do whatever, but you can make it progressive. But for the most part, when I did the back testing for like 6 months on martingales, linear is just as good. And why am I doing this? Moondang, however you say it, got listed on Coinbase. It instantly did like a 40% pump. I'm sorry. I'm way off. 120% pump. So, and I think Coinbase did MOG this today, actually. If you guys don't notice, there's Coinbase news wicks that pump like friggin' mad. That one's 62%, right? So let's go back to PopCat. What I'm trying to do, since Coinbase just seems to be listing everything, I'm thinking as soon as Coinbase, which may or may not do it, don't know, but if they list PopCat, your guys at Kraken are going to have a flash wick candle that's going to be like 40% to 150%. So there's 40. There's 150. Right? So, and this is going to last for like 10 seconds. So you're not going to be able to catch this trade. So let's plan accordingly, right? So yeah, okay, let me do the open mouth YouTuber who's a paid call. This is how you're going to make $100,000 on PopCat using martingales to beat the system. Long story short, we're going to get a wick here. I don't know where this wick's going to go, but this is why you use martingales. I know it's likely not going to go 5,000% up. Probably going to get 30 to 150. Call it 40 to 140. So bam. And it happens for 2 seconds. If I'm sitting on the exchange in limit orders in a martingale, you are going to front run the arbitrage bots. So you've got like 5-10 seconds before the arbitrage bots will catch up and then just start saying, oh my God, there's a God candle on Kraken. PopCat's selling for $4 a pop. I'm sorry, I just said that. Dump everything you got, and then the price instantly comes down. If you sit here on a martingale, it's bam. And what happens is you knock out your 10 orders, right? So let's assume the wick actually does this. Bam, but doesn't hit the top two, and then it bleeds out, right? And then does this, right? Because a lot of the other ones did this. Like if we go look at Moondang, it popped, came all the way back down. So we want to catch this thing because this is a free lunch if we catch this. Now, as you go up, you're going to sell some at 182, $2, 210, 226, 240, right? And you walk this up. Now, these are limit orders. They're not going to slip. You say I'm only letting this loose at $1.81 and 0.62. It only executes there, right? So you do limit sells, and you just let them sit, and you kind of babysit them. Like we can't just sit on this for a month because eventually, if PopCat starts running over months and months and months, it's going to chew through this. We want to keep this level nice and healthy above here, and we're just trying to catch the flash wick. Now, what'll happen is to say, hey, every line, I burn 10% of my bag. That's fine. And then as these execute, what's going to happen is instead of you trying to time the exact perfect singular sell, which you may miss, say you put your whole PopCat bag at 260 and you find out the next day it only went to 255 and then it came back down, you just missed a lot of money. What this allows you to do as price starts chugging through here, the way this math works on a martingale, it starts averaging like a DCA, but it's in a sell mode. And it will start looking like this, is kind of how it goes. Your DCA will start coming up slowly, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be perfect, but we're hunting a wick, right? So if the wick goes whoop bam in 1 second, literally a lot of these print in 1 friggin' second, you get your DCA average somewhere around here. So we sold 80% of our bag. The price went, let's base this real quick so you can see real numbers. So say the price hit that. We sold 80% of our bag into a 90% pump, right? Your average DCA on the exit on a martingale is going to really be like here. So what you get on a 90% pump, you get 50% of it. But you're also safeguarded in case it goes higher, you will start deploying more of your capital, right? So even if this only went up like half, 50% of your bag only got exposed, whatever, you could still deal with it. But it increases your bag as it goes higher. It pulls your DC up slowly. It helps you out. And it prevents you from being the dude who tried to sell 1 cent higher than what the wicks happen. It allows you to sit on it, and that's the art of the martingale. That's how you get free lunch. So, anyway. Let me see. Are we... Is the connection still good? Yeah, good. So that's the art of the martingale, and that's what I'm deploying on Popcat, and I'm just going to sit on it and kind of move this as time goes on. I'll move it around as these bands kind of move. But for the most part, I'm going to try to catch the bands up to the ML bands and just do that. And now this is what you do, right? So what happens? You get the execution. You now are sitting in cash and profit. I still want Popcat. So when price goes what bam, executes. Let me kill some of this. I'm a real big fan of reverse trading. And people are like, what on earth are you talking about? Most people buy low, sell high. I love selling high and buying lower. So if I have, say, 10,000 Popcat, I catch a martingale for 50%. I then wait for this thing to come back down, and then I just redeploy somewhere here. And then if I start, and I take the percentages towards the bag. So if I had 10,000 Popcat, I do a 30% trade. I go back to like the 13,000 Popcat, and it's a free lunch. Or you get back your original amount of Popcat back somewhere here, and you take your 30% of USD and you just cash that out. Because I can draw really well, if that makes sense. So it's like, hey, I started with 10,000 Popcat, bam, bam, cut out the martingale. I buy back into Popcat to get my original bag back, but then I get to sit there and walk away with the profits in USD or whatever, USDC, whatever. So that's how you do those. And that's what a lot of the martingale stuff is that you see me talking about in the order books. That's what the bots are doing. They're just like automated. Humans don't do it manually, but Popcat, these random pumps on the Coinbase stuff is set up to do it. Like we're seeing it over and over again, and you literally they're listing everything is what it seems. So like I don't know why they wouldn't do Popcat, but like you can see what happens when these things list, right? You could have put your martingale up to like here, and you would have got 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have got 40% of your money out, averaged here, and you would already be up like 20%, but it's probably still going to bleed out some more and come down here, and you could probably get 40%. So you get like 40% in your bag or get the cash out. So anyway, that's how you do those. A lot of people don't think of it like that way, but when you flip the math around and think about it for a minute, you can get away with stuff like that, and it's kind of useful. So anyway, that's where we're at. I think I'm going to wrap this up and head to the Discord. I'm so sorry for running late. I'm sorry the dual stream isn't working. I don't know what I'm going to do with Restream. I'm going to call them, send a major complaint, but Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for showing up. Hit the smash on the like and the follow. Trying to grow this thing. Man, I stream once a week. It's hard. And we're going to go to the Discord and definitely check us out here. This link at the top always has our Discord link, and you can come join the fam there and come hang out with us. So anyway, much love. I will talk to you guys later. Yeah, we'll see how stream goes with Christmas and all that, but I'm not sure yet on the schedule. But we'll do some holiday fun, and we definitely will do the Pixel stream, and the Jared Gray interview that might happen on a Tuesday. We'll see. Working on schedules. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys a bit in the Discord. Link, comment, subscribe. Send me a bad message. Send me some hate mail.